Hey guys, how's it going? I'm the Psychic Zombie, if you haven't seen anything from me before. And I say that because this won't just be on my channel. This will also be on Zinc's Eyes. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. He told me how to pronounce it in like a little Skype thing. He sent me like a little Zinc's Eyes, like a little pronunciation thing. But you know me, I'm not very good at pronunciation, so I could quite possibly get that wrong. But anyway, if you want to know why this is going on that channel, I basically got a message from him. He was like, "Hey, want to upload stuff on this channel?" I was like, "Sure." And that's pretty much how that happened. It's not a very interesting story. But this video is a bit more serious than normal. I don't think I will be doing much editing as far as like the texty thing goes. I I don't feel it's necessary. I think this is a little bit more serious, so it doesn't really call for the texty editing thing deal that I've been doing, that people say to keep doing. So, but I'm sorry, this is a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like it's less serious by, adding silly little text things. And I honestly hate to jump on the bandwagon of making a video about this, but as I'm sure you've heard, North Carolina banned gay marriage in their states whenever, I think it was like 1 or 2 days ago, depending on when this gets uploaded. And this is irritating to me, to say the least. Because obviously, if you can't tell, I disagree with this. I'm for equal rights for, like everybody. Honestly, I just couldn't care less about, whether or not gay people get married. Or, I obviously do care. Let me rephrase that. I don't think that other people should care, because whatever they do with their thing is their business. I don't think other people should be trying to control them. To put that in, my opinion, because I don't know, and this is coming from me being a straight male, and I don't know, again, I disagree with this. I'm for equal rights. And there are a lot of things wrong with this entire thing that I don't like. Being me disliking the whole situation in general. Because I don't even think it should have to get voted on. I think it's a waste of public, like taxpayer dollars to even vote about something as silly and stupid as this. I think it should kind of be like a common sense thing. Like, oh, they're people. They should be able to get married just like other people. And again, to get back on the why I don't think that it should have been banned, I don't think that rights should be voted on. That kind of defeats the purpose of rights. And if you have a system where a majority of people can vote to eliminate a right of a minority, you have a problem with the system. And I'm trying to present this as calmly and professionally as possible, which I hope you notice. It's harder than it seems, really, to not get really frustrated. But when I discuss this with people who are against gay marriage, there are a couple people at my school who are not necessarily for it. It's always frustrating because their arguments are silly, for because I don't want to use an offensive word to describe it. They're silly arguments because there's not a single factual reason for gay marriage to not be allowed, or not, at least there's not one that makes sense to me. The only response I ever get whenever I ask someone why it shouldn't be allowed, and I can't disagree with the premise of this more, because the Bible says gay marriage is wrong. And that's just a very irritating answer to me, because if you believe, your religion should not affect how other people live. You should not be able to vote for something because you believe in a certain thing that revolves around a certain religion, and that should not be put into law, because that's other people getting punished for your beliefs. And I obviously disagree with that. And again, it's very irritating to me because religion, to me, has no place in politics. It never helps anything. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and it's just silly. Besides that, Who here knows what the First Amendment is? If you don't, here's what it is. This is the definition from Wikipedia. Here we go. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution is part of the Bill of Rights. The amendment prohibits the making of any law respecting an establishment of religion, impeding the free exercise of religion, abridging the freedom of speech, infringing on the freedom of the press, interfering with the right to peaceably assemble, or prohibiting the petitioning for a governmental redress of grievances. That was a little bit long. Okay, and that's all great, but let's focus on the prohibits any law respecting establishment of religion part of that. So, now, it's quite possible that I'm misinterpreting this, but I'm pretty sure that it means you can't make a law based on your religious beliefs. Like, whenever a president is, like, Christian or whatever, that president tends to make laws based on his or her religion. Well, so far only his, but I remember watching Rick Santorum debates where he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He was a very strong Christian, and he felt very strongly that Christian beliefs should be put into law, I'm super glad that he's not in the race anymore. It's one less idiots in the running. But whatever. So, when you say, I'm against gay marriage being legalized because it's not allowed in the Bible, your argument, to me at least, it should automatically be voided, because that's a violation of the First Amendment. And, this may be incorrect, but I believe that gay marriage is never even specifically addressed in the Bible anyway. I don't read the Bible, I don't consider myself Christian, so again, I may be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure homosexuality is the only thing addressed, not gay marriage specifically. Again, it could be wrong. I'm just pretty sure from, the brief skims of the Bible that I've looked through. I don't remember that being addressed. Obviously, I don't think that, hold on. So, from that standpoint, where it's like, I don't consider myself Christian, I'm pretty sure homosexuality, from all this, I'm looking at this from a Christian standpoint, where it's like, the Bible says homosexuality is wrong. And if I really did believe that, if I believed something was wrong, for instance, killing babies, I believe killing babies is wrong. That's an awful example. Alright, let's go back to the original thing, without using killing babies as a metaphor. If a Christian doesn't believe homosexuality is correct religiously, from that standpoint, I can understand a Christian being against homosexuality. Obviously, I don't think that she should be protesting it or anything. But if you're against homosexuality because it's your religion, then to me, your job as a Christian is essentially to not be gay. It isn't to dislike gay people or take away their rights. And again, I may be wrong about gay marriage not being in the Bible, but my point still stands. If you are Christian and you are against homosexuality, don't be against other people being homosexual. Be against you being homosexual. You can follow the rules without making other people follow your rules. Which, now I also hear certain people say gay marriage is gross, which I can truly not wrap my head around. Because to them, being gay is fine, you can tickle some other man's ballsack, you can suck his dick, whatever, that's all fine, but the marriage part is what's disgusting in that situation to you. And I realize this probably sounds like a rant towards Christians, but it's not. There are a lot of sensible, logical thinking Christians out there. A lot of my friends are Christians, and they don't bug me because they don't force their beliefs on me. So you can kind of tell where it's like there's the Christians who are the religious people in general who are trying to get their religion to be the number one in the world, who are trying to force their religion to be the religion of the United States. Then there are the Christians, or religious people, who just keep to themselves, and they're like, okay, I'm this. You don't have to be. But if if you're interested in this, I'll tell you about it, but I'm not going to force it on you. Those are the Christians that I can deal with, all right? They're fine. They're cool dandy with me, okay? I can be friends with them and not always get in arguments. It's the ones over here that are like, blah, blah, you have to be this. Every time I talk to them, they're talking about how I have to be this or else I'm going to hell. They irritate me. I think anybody would be irritated if somebody constantly did that. It's like, if I went up to you and I was like, hey, do you believe in Bigfoot? And you're like, no, I don't believe in Bigfoot. And I just said, okay, well, what if I told you if you don't believe in Bigfoot, you're going to hell? And well, I still don't believe in Bigfoot. And then for the rest of the day, every day for the rest of your life, I constantly nagged you about believing in Bigfoot. Like, that is kind of what it sounds like to non-Christians and why it's irritating. I don't know. This rant, if you can call it that, is towards the specific people in North Carolina who voted for gay marriage to be banned, who only voted because of their religion. If you have some other reason for being against gay marriage, you know what? That's your opinion. You're entitled to that. I'm not going to devalidate that because that's what you believe in. That's completely fine. I'm just saying don't bring your religion into politics. Because as I stated before, I don't think they should, people should be voting on behalf of their God, who they claim loves everyone equally, but apparently doesn't want everyone to have equal rights. That doesn't make sense to me. And if you have some other reason for not liking gay marriage, that's fine. That's your opinion. I will most likely disagree with you on your, the premise of your opinion. But because this is America, I can't say that your opinion isn't valid. Unless, of course, it violates the First Amendment, in which case, yes, it is not valid in law. So I realize in hindsight that this is probably a useless commentary to make. I mean, fighting a hardcore Christian with logic, I find, is like fighting a tank with baloney. It's a waste of baloney. So, anyway, this is the end of this. Hopefully you understand my opinion and everything. If you disagree, feel free to. I'm not going to dislike you if you have a different opinion. I don't care. This has gone on really long. I'm going to have trouble finding a gameplay that's 12 minutes or whatever. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day. Goodbye.